Welcome back to GCN's coverage of the 2015 Tour Down Under. Stage 4 of the race took the riders 145 kilometres from the seaside town of Glenelg to Mount Barker. It wasn't hard enough for the GC riders, but still a tough one for the sprinters, with a few lumps and bumps en route and the chance of crosswinds towards the finish. A relaxed race leader, Rowan Dennis, set off surrounded by teammates, but it wasn't long before the attack started. Some familiar protagonists were involved in the action. Stage 1 winner Jack Bobridge, along with Thomas de Gent, who saw up the road on Stage 2. Eventually, a group of 4 managed to prize itself clear at 23 kilometres into the stage. Bobridge did make it, along with Michael Hepburn of Orica Greenedge, British champ Peter Kennaugh of Sky, and Jerome Pinot of FTJ. By the time they'd reached the first KOM of the day, they'd built up a gap of almost 2.5 minutes. Bobridge was allowed to roll across the line first, putting him into the virtual lead in that competition. Job done, he sat up and went back to the bunch. Some fast chasing behind meant that the remaining 3 riders were swallowed up with a little under 70 kilometres to go. With everyone together for this intermediate sprint, we saw Orica Greenedge line Daryl Impey up. He took maximum points, but more importantly, he brought himself 3 seconds closer in the general classification. Fresh attacks came from the peloton soon after, in what proved to be another intense day's racing. Katusha's Maxim Belkov, Peter Seri of Etix Quickstep, and Tubayev of Astana formed the second breakaway of the day. Giant Alpecin were notable by their absence at the front of the lined-out peloton, and soon we saw the reason why. Marcel Kittel was among those in a group that had been dropped some way from the finish. It was a nervous peloton as the race headed towards the finale. The breakaway was brought back into the fold with 9 kilometres remaining, and despite a brief excursion off the front for Luis Leon Sanchez, a pretty big peloton sped through the red kite, signifying 1 kilometre to go. It was led by Trek Factory Racing and Orica Greenedge. Wouter Whippet of Drapac was first to make his move on the finishing straight, thundering down the left-hand side, but on his wheel, calmly biding his time, was Steele von Hoff. Once he went, there was no stopping him, the national criterium champion giving the composite Uni SA team their second win of the week.
Well, I think we're batting well above our average here. 2 stage wins, the Oka jersey for 2 days now. It's just fantastic. We've got such a good team here and good staff as well. So.
What a win it was for the 27-year-old, who, having not managed to secure a World Tour contract for 2015, will race for the British-based Continental team NFTO this season. Now, behind Von Hoff, however, it was absolute chaos. A crash just 10 riders back at blistering speeds of over 70 kilometres an hour saw a number of riders go down. First of those was FDJ Neopro Lorenzo Manzin, who appeared to clip the rear wheel of Aussie champ Heinrich Hausler. A view from the static camera on the side gives an impression of the speed they were going when they hit the tarmac. And amid the carnage, hats off to Sky's Ian Stannard for this impressive attempt at a high-speed save. Now, the full extent of the injuries is not yet known, but we do really hope that despite the epic speed involved, there would be nothing more serious than gravel rash. Here are the stage results then, courtesy of ProCyclingStats.com. Von Hoff taking it ahead of Impey and then Whippet. There was no change on the overall classification going on to the crucial penultimate stage tomorrow, which finishes at the iconic Willunga Hill. Make sure you join us again for that, and see you then.